Tonight on CTV News, we're covering the recent Fort Collins City Council meeting.
And stick around because we have information on midterms and Colorado's third wave of COVID-19. All that and more on CTV News starting now. Good evening, Rams. I'm Sophia Ridley.
And I'm Kenneth Fredrick. We have a lot of stories tonight, but tonight we start with news on the Pepsi Center.
Starting today, the home arena for the Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche is being renamed Ball Arena as part of a new partnership with Ball Corporation and Kroenke Sports and Entertainment. The Pepsi Center was completed in October of 1999, and its first use was a Celine Dion concert. It hosted the 2001 Stanley Cup Finals, which was the last year the Avs won the Stanley Cup, the 2005 NBA All-Star Game, and hosted the 2008 Democratic National Convention. The Pepsi Center has created millions of memories for millions of people all over the years, and although its name is changing, those memories are not.
After the City Council meeting on Tuesday, yappy dog owners in Fort Collins may see new ways of resolving disputes with neighbors. The council amended the portion of the city code that deals with pet noise disturbances. In a Fort Collins City Council meeting on Tuesday, the city code regarding the animal disturbance of peace and quiet was changed. The council had its final reading of the ordinance that concerns how Fort Collins locals can deal with pet noise complaints from now on. The process starts with tools from the Larimer Humane Society. Residents who want to deal with loud neighborhood pets are encouraged to resolve things without legal troubles. The methods are things like anonymous letters that residents can give to neighbors, or free mediation provided by neighborhood services. If that doesn't work, the code now allows people to complain anonymously. However, if the charge is denied by the pet owner, the complainant does have to be willing to appear in court. The animosity of the complaints was an issue that sat with Councilman Ken Summers.
A complaint says, I don't want any kind of mediation, I don't want anything, I'm going to complain again, 10 months later they complain again, and the person gets a citation.
There are also fines associated with the number of offenses that an owner has in the course of a year. Owners can contest any fines. Of the 425 complaints that the Humane Society received last year, a third of them resulted in warnings, whereas only 9% of complaints resulted in fines. With the combination of non-legal methods to resolve issues and new rules, Mayor Wade Troxel said the amendment was a nice mixture of mediation and legislation. Residents are able to find ways of mediation or complaint submissions, can find them on the Larimer Humane Society's website.
Listen, I have a dog, so if a neighbor has a complaint, I'm really glad that there's a way for people to do it civilly. There's not going to be any animosity between neighbors. I really like that.
Yeah, all four of my neighbors on literally every side of my house all own dogs, and I have so many friends in Fort Collins who have dogs too. So.
It is a big dog city.
It really is.
A red flag alert was issued at noon on Wednesday as crews continue to fight against the flames of the Cameron Peak fire. Conditions have continued to remain critical, with the fire only being held at 51% containment and spanning roughly 200,000 acres of northern Colorado. Although personnel are working hard to combat the war against the blaze, an additional 30 to 50 structures were lost. The majority of these buildings were along the Redstone Canyon, along Otter Road, among other areas including the Buckhorn area and Pooter Springs.
Proposition 113 is one item on the Colorado ballot this year that could have national implications. It's an item on the ballot that regards Colorado joining the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, which is a coalition of states that have agreed to give all of their electoral votes to whoever wins the popular vote in the nation. This differs from the Electoral College that Colorado and much of the rest of the country currently uses. Derek Moeller, an election law professor in Iowa, said in an interview with the Coloradoan that if the measure doesn't pass in Colorado, it would be pretty much impossible to pass in the rest of the country.
With fall around the corner, midterm season is finally here. This school year is completely different for schools across the country. With all the changes being made, students are having to learn and adapt with classes and studying. We talked to CSU students about how they are dealing with midterms.
This year, it's been kind of rough. I haven't really learned much in terms of the classes that they offer. Midterms, all online, obviously. So it's a matter of what resources you have.
I seriously am looking at going to MT school next year back in California because it's not worth it right now for me at this point.
In this difficult time, places like the Morgan Library can be so helpful for students. The library is open until midnight except for Friday and Saturday nights. Students can reserve study rooms and sanitation stations are available. But is that enough? Students seem to feel a bit unmotivated and lacking reasons to try to learn.
So I felt like it was a lot easier, but I also feel like my mindset this semester is not as serious as other semesters, so I didn't do as well.
Yeah, cheating's a huge issue. Yeah, the students have to find the easiest way, and they can't be stressing over stuff that they don't need to be stressing about. If they can get an answer the easy way, why not?
With cheating being easier for online classes and tests, teachers are having to adapt and figure out ways such as proctoring exams and changing questions to push students to be honest and encourage academic integrity. We wish everyone the best of luck with their classes and midterms. Well, how are your midterms going?
I had a comp paper I had to turn in last week. It was almost 5,000 words. It really did just kind of kill me a little bit. But.
See, I decided to only take 2 classes this year. The idea of midterms and finals online was not something I was interested in.
Luckily it's only 1 to 2 weeks. Once we get over this hump, we've got Thanksgiving break coming up and then finals. Yes. Almost the home stretch. As of yesterday, evictions have been banned in Colorado for the next 30 days. Colorado landlords are no longer able to evict residents from their properties except in certain circumstances because of Governor Polis's new executive order. Residents may only be evicted if they're able to if they are a threat to another individual or if there is a significant damage to the property. Residents must be able to prove that they're struggling with COVID via a few different methods. Things like asking for government aid or provable loss of hours at work are a few ways that tenants can prove they're struggling due to COVID.
According to Governor Jared Polis, the recent upcoming of COVID-19 within Colorado could be the largest wave yet, with hospitalizations due to the virus reaching 417 on Tuesday and rising yet again for a total of 435 on Wednesday. Colorado's top epidemiologist, Dr. Rachel Hurley, claims that if these numbers continue to spike, we could never experience over 900 hospitalizations before the end of November, which would exceed the peak count of cases from last spring. This is understood to be the state's 3rd wave of the virus, as the first took place in the spring and the second happening in July. Our reporter, Westyn Hubbard, has some new information on the ASCSU Senate.
That's right, guys. Thank you so much. The ASCSU is back after the retreat last week, and the members discussed important issues and topics such as what the difference between a bill, resolution, and lex looks like. This week in the ASCSU Senate, many different topics of interest were discussed. However, the big one that was discussed is how to write a bill.
Our governing documents, and we would need a lex with 3 readings to do that. A bill and a resolution only have 2 readings.
Christian Dixon, the Speaker of the Senate, took over with sharing his screen to present multiple informative slides talking about the process of a bill. Dixon made sure to start out this informative slideshow by talking about the difference between bills, resolutions, and lexes, something that everybody might not be familiar with, and making sure that he could get everybody on the same page. The next 2 slides went over talking about the requirements that a legislation must have, as well as talking about the differences between a sponsorship and an endorsement, and therefore talking about the bills that they will be trying to push forward this semester. After those 2 informative slides, Christian Dixon made sure to talk about the whereas versus therefore clauses, and then bringing up who receives the legislation, such as Joyce McConnell or the ASCSU presidents, and so on and so forth. The final image inside this informative slideshow is entitled The Life of a Bill, and it showed the process that a bill must go through in order to become approved and then therefore become a legitimate bill within the Senate. The ASCSU Senate meetings will continue to be held over Zoom for the next coming weeks, and we'll make sure to keep on top of these as much as we can. Again, another seemingly productive Senate meeting for the ASCSU, and we here at CTV will continue to tune in and report on the latest for everyone interested.
Thank you, Westyn, for those updates. This year, the foothills of Fort Collins looked a bit different without the freshly painted Aggie, a decades-old tradition put to rest for a season due to the worldwide COVID pandemic. Most people have accepted that this year would be lacking one of Fort Collins and CSU's favorite traditions, but not local Fort Collins painting business, Maximum Painting. Maximum Painting donated both time and materials to repainting the Aggie last Friday. Mark Parker and his wife, both CSU alumni, run Maximum Painting and said repainting the Aggie would be an honor.
A proposed plan to add hundreds of luxury apartments southwest of the CSU campus will be subject of discussion for residents living near the intersection of West Prospect Road and South Shield Street. A multifamily housing developer, Watermark Residential, has proposed constructing approximately 350 apartments, which would span upon 8 3-story buildings, a commercial building, and 10 duplexes. Although the site is near Colorado State University, the apartments will be designed for market rates rather than students.
First it was no in-person classes, and now it's no spring vacation, but CSU Buffs really can't seem to catch a break. Literally, earlier today, the officials at CU Boulder released a statement regarding the decision to take away spring break of 2021. We know we can't deliver the full traditional college experience, but we've worked to make it engaging, safe, valuable, and as fun as possible, said Chancellor Philip DeStefano. The decision was made in hopes of continuing to lower the case count in Boulder County by preventing travel-related transmission. Instead of the normal week off, the students will receive 2 wellness days on February 17th and March 25th in support of their mental health. I hate to be the one to say it, but play silly games, win silly prizes. That's what you get for not being able to just stay inside.
All I'm hearing is more great reasons to say proud to be a CSU Ram.
Facts. Really, seriously, I'm so glad I'm not in Boulder. Spring break is so much fun.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to my spring break.
Me too. Guess they're not.
Well, Rams, that's all we have for you tonight. But make sure you stay tuned in, because up next is entertainment with Angel Cooper.